A good midday Wednesday to you. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com. They represent 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and also 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Looking at water vapor moisture right now with a trough of lower pressure that's just moved into the Great Basin, the Central Rockies. It's sweeping in some moisture that's going to be also working in from the Gulf of Mexico. And this is going to power up our next weather system, and this is what we're going to concentrate on. It arrives basically Thursday late overnight, spreading in some wet snow and then a change over to glazing conditions with freezing rain for a period of time before it changes over to rain showers and sprinkles as the storm begins to move on through. On the back side of it, we'll see some stronger gusty winds as well, and also a shot of Arctic air. You're looking at that ridge of higher pressure that's going to be actually centered across the region. It looks like during the day on Thursday, providing a pretty decent weather day. Right now we do have a little bit of flurry action that's going to be working in. Not very much to show for it, but cold and relatively dry conditions with a chance for some flurries. These will exit out of the region later tonight. Taking a look at the wider view, this is valid at 1 o'clock this afternoon. This is our weather system here, and a little bit of Gulf of Mexico inflow beginning to take place around this surface area of higher pressure. This is the same area of higher pressure that's going to bodily work in and give us a pretty fine day during the day tomorrow. We had this one little minor disturbance here that's going to touch off a few of those flurries as I just talked about. Let's take a look at the 6-hour increments of the European model and see how this sets up. You can see an area of higher pressure builds up to the north of us. That's going to slide across the region, providing some decent weather. And then we'll see increasing high-level clouds that'll thicken up later in the day on Thursday and into Thursday night especially with the approach of this weather system here. Now the pressure gradient tightens up across Vermont. This is valid currently. This is valid at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and as the area of higher pressure exits out of the region, you can see the influx of precipitation begin to work on through. And pretty moist, but it breaks off. It looks like lesser precipitation across northern areas, still across southern areas a little heavier. And as this moves on through, we get into a bit of a dry slot. That'll happen on Friday afternoon, and then beyond that, an Arctic front will push in across the region, providing some gusty winds, and maybe even the chance for some snow squalls and a little bit of a return snow. Area of higher pressure builds in, and I'm just going to carry this a little bit further because I want to show you the next storm system to work on in, how it all sets up. You can see jet stream energy working in the Pacific Northwest. This takes place on Monday with an area of higher pressure bringing better conditions, and then we have this system here. It looks like another freezing rain event, and that'll take place unfortunately on New Year's Eve. So giving you the broad scale here with precipitation types, you can see that some sleet and freezing rain works on into where, of all places, western Vermont. And pretty quickly by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, leftovers in the freezing rain will have exit out of the region into New Hampshire with just rain at that point, or rain showers or light sprinkles. And you can see the progression here. And then a little bit of sprinkle action during the overnight period and into the morning hours on Saturday, followed by another changeover with sharply colder air working in with a little bit of snow return. In terms of glazing, this is how it sets up. We're looking at this valid at 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. And you can see not a lot east of the Greens, a little bit more in the western part of the Green Mountains, and so forth. These are our flurries coming in. This is snowfall, 6-hourly increments. You can see not a lot to show for it, just a little bit of flurry activity. Then that's out of here for much better conditions, albeit a cold day on Thursday. Whoops, jumped the gun here. You can see how rapidly this moves in. This is a 6-hour increment. This thing is absolutely flying. And so that's valid at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the morning on Friday. And then you can see we're looking at generally around a trace to 1-inch amounts. And then that moves on out, but things get a little healthier off to the east of us with the timings a little bit better as any kind of snow transitions to rain or light sprinkles. This is total snow accumulation with this event coming into Friday. You can see generally around 1 to 2 inches, a little healthier across parts of New Hampshire and into Maine with maybe up to 4-inch amounts here. And looking at wind gusts, this is how it builds in here. We're looking at 12Z, 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Not a lot to show for it. Still marginal. But watch the return flow. Once the area of low pressure departs, we start seeing this, and this is the worst of it. And you can see that generally the areas around western Windsor, western Windham County, and the spine of the Green Mountains look like they're going to get a healthy shot of gusty winds. The direction is west-northwesterly. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.